Hey folks, Twisted Christian Julius here. Just want to give you guys a channel update and kind of what's going on with me and kind of what's going on with the channel and what direction and what's coming down the road here and some things that I've been working on. But first, I'd like to thank you guys for your support on the Patreon, for you guys' support on YouTube. Of course, the best way you can support this channel if you don't support on the Patreon is to like, share the video, allow some of those 15-second commercials, to play out. That's one of the best ways you can support any of the people that you watch on YouTube. So first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for your prayers and support dealing with my father. For about a month in November, I was going over to my dad's every day, every night, giving his medicine, shots, and everything. He wasn't really taking care of himself well. He fought me on going to the hospital until I found him nearly unconscious and unable to understand me. So he recently just got out of the hospital. He was in there for almost a week. So, I have to take care of all his stuff, pay his bills, clean his apartment up, and do all that. So I'm doing all that while I'm working and while I am making videos. So it is a lot on me, but I'm going to try to keep the content flowing. So I do appreciate your support in that. One of the other things is I do want to mention is I don't talk about politics a lot anymore so much, get into the deep details of it. I know there are people that do, but I just saw another channel go down. Their channel wasn't really focused so much on that. They were on a completely different subject, and they started talking about it, and that's when they got censored. When I do make videos that do touch on that subject, you guys notice I do not mention names, and a lot of times, especially dealing with the president or certain other figures, and I allude or hint towards a situation or somebody. So recently I got tagged for, this was back in September, for copyright violation with Perry Stone's ministry. I guess it was a 9-minute 58 part of when he was talking about the fall of Lucifer and pyramids on Mars. And he talks about the gap theory and other things. And it's just kind of funny because, there's a lot of people that use this content, and it was interesting how they struck me. You can go look up. There's plenty of channels that are promoting his content. So those are just little things that we have to deal with, especially, if you're making videos on YouTube. And there's kind of all kind of things. And, when there's one thing that you don't want to do is just be in a fight. You want to be able to get your content out. And, if I have to allude to certain things and hint at certain things, then that's what I'm going to do to keep things rolling and keep things moving. Because there's a lot of time, effort, and energy and work that goes into doing what I do. So it's those supporters that are on the Patreon that really support and help me get over those humps, because I have a lot of things that I have to deal with, and that's one reason why I'm investing and I'm waiting on certain investments is because I want to get totally out of debt. So I've also put a lot of money into the project, and then of course especially over the last year and a half, you guys have supported on the Patreon and the PayPal, and that's really helped the project grow. And that is a project that God has destined for me to do. So it's all about building the business, building the project. There's a lot of other things that I work on concerning the project, and I do spend a lot of time studying and doing a lot of other things when it comes to this channel. But some of the other things that are coming that I do want to discuss, and it's one of the things that has always been on my mind, and it deals with like the war in heaven. What is the war in heaven? Is it a bunch of angels flying around with swords fighting each other? That's the concept that was in our minds when we were growing up. It's never really been explained, and especially from a physical point of view of being able to see those things. So I'm going to be discussing that. I have a lot of good information, especially dealing with Mars and the connection to Earth. But I'm going to show you this connection that deals with the war in heaven, and the war in heaven and how it relates to creation, how it relates to the kingdom of God and what's really out there, because a lot of people don't know. You have faith in the Bible, you have faith in Jesus, but you don't know what's really outside of Earth. And those are some of the things we're going to be looking at, and from a biblical perspective. And also I'm going to be discussing creation. Kim Clement talks about creation and the creation of mankind and how it's done. And just doing some studies recently into his prophecies, I've just been blown away by what's going on. And it's just things that you never even thought about. And one of the things that I've always been curious is that when you look at science and how they view creation, creation has come in waves. Right? You have the different eras and the different ages, and the different animals that lived during this whole stretch of a time period. Of course, 99% of all animals or species that existed no longer exist in our time. And we've actually seen the extinction of animals in our time, and also looking at archaeology and looking at extinction and mankind driving certain animals into extinction. So there's going to be a lot of different topics and areas that I'm going to touch on, things that I never conceived that God would ever show me at all whatsoever, and be able to go to the Bible and show you. Because especially when it comes to creation, well, how did God create mankind? Well, there's not like a detailed explanation in the Bible, but he does hint at where it begins. And yet we miss it, evolutionists miss it, and there's going to come a time, especially according to Kim Clement's prophecies, that will be revealed. So there's a lot of things, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want to get off in certain subjects, because I do want to keep this channel. And a lot of people might think that we make a lot of money from this, and folks, I can tell you, out of the year and a half or 2 years that I've been doing this, even at the height of me making like a really lot of good content and a lot of videos during that month, I have never broken $1,000. I mean, most of the time it's anywhere between like $500 and $600. I would probably say an average of $500. And of course, when my dad was sick, that didn't even come close. I had a lot of makeup work to do to get back things rolling and to produce content. So and that's why I appreciate your guys' prayer and support, and so that I can keep going, so that we can show you these things. So whatever God is showing me, I can show you, and try to give a different perspective on all these different things. So anyways, folks, I thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. I'm going to start making some more videos. God bless. Be safe. And with that being said, Twisted Christian out.